Hello guys, welcome to this video. Let me introduce myself for the people who don't know me. My name is Sunny. I'm the editor and also scriptwriter for some parts of this video. We have been planning to do this for quite some time, so that people know the truth about this person. But wait, who is Kayla and Friends? Kayla and Friends is a semi-popular animator that posts art and, well, animations. She was well known in the creep fandom because of her self-insert and animations she made for it, which are now considered lost media. I used to be friends with her until the events that happened between us, which made me realize how horrible of a person she is. To list a few things we are going to talk about in this call-out: guilt tripping, manipulation, sexualizing minors, transphobia. Now with this information, I will let my friend and partner explain in detail the whole situation plus problematic things she has done.
Hello, my name is Kitty. I'm Sunny's partner and a friend of Rain. My segment is to explain or go more deeper into how she was harmful to the friend group by guilt-tripping us and emotionally draining us for no reason. The guilt-tripping started in around late December of 2024 when we started to get isolated around her and became closer to each other. Since everyone started to be comfortable talking about their problems, we started talking about traumatic events that happened in the past and how that made us upset and sad. At the start of this, Kayla never really talked much about it, but she was there for people and comforting them when upset. I can't exactly pinpoint the day she started to feel upset, but suddenly she started talking about getting mildly stressed because of school, which later evolved into her talking about voices in her head when she had no mention of a mental disorder that would cause this beforehand. She more so made an open and alter ego named Voices and stressed K, and would use these characters constantly inside and outside venting spots, as well as blame a lot on her sister, who is very much a child who doesn't know any better. She would also constantly use these characters in roleplays we did for fun and would cry and have mental breakdowns outside of character when she would be ignored by us. So much so that when she phased out of her Voices character, she started to blatantly copy an infamous media known as Alfred's Playhouse, which is known for being a vent of a 15-year-old girl with drama about sexual assault and rape as a child. Adding on to this, Kayla has no trauma ever related to topics shown in Alfred's Playhouse or general trauma whatsoever. The Alfred's Playhouse situation started after I have personally talked to her about the guilt-tripping issue up front and that it wasn't okay and told her to take a break from the internet. However, after this happened, she started to guilt-trip even harder. She used an experience with an ex-friend, which she called friend, and exploited her behavior constantly to make herself a victim by using the ex-friend character as an excuse to be a bad person. This ended up evolving into her Alfred's Playhouse character after we started to get sick of her new guilt-tripping tactic. She made a new oath by the name of a homophobic slur that she could not say at the time because she was labeled as straight. She started to use many characters and moments from the series and plaster her oath onto them constantly to the point where she was LARPing as a mentally ill person. During this, she was in a relationship with Rain and would constantly drain him of his abilities to comfort her, when she would do this more than daily. Throughout this entire situation, it was a very draining and difficult thing to combat, especially with her tactics. After this, I had left Kayla alongside Sunny and Rain and helped him break up with her, so my perspective of the story from a personal view ends here. However, Rain had to go through a situation where Kayla had made more problematic decisions that Rain will cover in a moment.
Hello, I am Rain. I am Sunny and Teddy's friend. I have been around Kayla since late 2024 as I was in DOTSA as well. After the breakup of DOTSA, and around June, I went back to being in contact with Kayla directly through Discord DMS. During this time I noticed she was being drained by another individual, and my goal was to get Kayla out of the relationship and leave. Unfortunately, this had taken months, and by then I felt like I would be an awful person if I had left her, so I decided to stay against my better judgment. Here I noticed very troubling behavior, but I'll start with the continuing guilt-tripping and stalking. Now by this point Teddy and Sunny had TikTok, and Kayla began to view their profiles daily, including their stories. This should have already raised red flags, as this is a key sign of stalking. She began to become very upset easily at every small hint of criticism or malice, and I would be there to convince her everything was alright. This would happen multiple times a week through the span of months, and I kept trying to convince her to stop or make new accounts to avoid them, yet she would ignore my pleas and continue this dangerous behavior. I would have to play the role as the protector, as I was the only one willing to actually try and prevent this. This had taken a toll on my physical and mental health, as I would experience awful burnout as a result. She also began to hyperfixate on Homestuck and Gamzee. Disturbingly, she began to make several sexual remarks about Gamzee, as well as sexual drawings involving her persona, Gamzeek, and Gamzee himself. She also had an obsession with John Egbert, who she also made sexual remarks and drawings about him. Despite her also being a minor, this is still inexcusable, as Gamzee is 13, and John is freshly 13. We had also started dating again, and she drew multiple drawings of my Sona and hers, either kissing, making out, or mentioning it. I realize now I should have explained I was uncomfortable with these drawings, yet I still believe she should have had some common sense regarding my past experiences, which I had explained in detail multiple times. Also, while dating, she blatantly did not see me as a man. While I wasn't in contact with her, I came out as transgender, and she didn't believe me at first. When asked by someone else, she responded saying she just wanted to respect my pronouns. She also labeled herself as lesbian while dating me. In general, she didn't necessarily respect transgender individuals, as she gave her obviously female OCS top scars, implying that they should have had top surgery. After a combination of these things, and my growing uncomfort, I decided to leave her for good. During this time, she made several statements via status, either insulting me or flat out threatening me.
In conclusion, Kayla has done a bunch of damage that could have been easily avoided thanks to her selfishness and attention-seeking behavior. She hasn't tried to change at all during this whole year, but complains about being a shitty person. Not only that, she has done more horrible stuff during it and still tries to act victim. Before I end the video, I will remind you guys to not harass anyone involved in this, including the person in the call-out. Thank you for listening.